Hello everyone, it's Rita here with Slow Stitch Sunday with Rita, and I am going to make a biscornu, which is a pen cushion that was generally done in the cross stitch world, but I decided I was going to do it as a slow stitch. Now, I did watch K3N, I think it is K3N, Catherine, and she made one also, but she used more muted colors. I can't remember exactly what it was, but anyway, so I have these two pieces of fabric that are from fabric samples for furniture or whatever. So I thought I would just use these. I just kind of like the color. I'm so into this blue. I don't know why, because I've never been much of a blue person, but lately I am. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is cut down our, let me see, this part doesn't have, okay. I'm going to cut this down. I don't want this paper part in the way, but I don't want these circles in the way either. So what I'm going to do is just lay this down and just trim off from that circle point there where the circles are. Just kind of get rid of it. So I hope everybody's good. Today is Mother's Day. There we go. My kids will be over later. Okay. Well, it's actually Saturday for me, but they'll be over here on Sunday. All right, so this one, I'm just going to trim off that edge. You won't have to do this if you have regular fabric. You know, your squares. Whoop, don't move on me. I'm sitting down. I don't usually cut sitting. Yeah. I didn't want to cut all the way. Well, it worked fine the first time. Not enough pressure, probably. And that's where that paper is. Okay, so now I'm going to take this corner here and I'm going to make it 5 inches. So I'm going to get my ruler here that I can measure. Let's see if I can see it. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I'm going to do 5 inches, and I'm going to mark it instead of cutting it with them. Well, I might cut it afterwards, but right now I'm just going to mark it in here. Okay. Oh, that's not 5 inches. Shame on me. That's what I always do. This ruler here, you have 5 here and a 5 here. So in order to, you need to realize that your ruler is bigger than, I think this is 6 altogether. Okay, so that's good. So let me just, normally I would rip it, but on this one I have to draw lines on it, kind of like a stitching line. You'll see. So I hope everybody's having good weather and for Mother's Day. All right. I hate that. I wish I had taken that off before I started. And there was something else I needed before I started, and I cannot think of it. So I will have it when I need it. I'll go find it, whatever it is. So I keep moving everything from my chair where I sit. A lot of stuff is usually sitting right next to me, little scraps of this and that I can pick up. But then I have to come over here to a table to do the video. All right, so this time I'll put it on the 5. And then I'm going to draw around that so I can cut it out. All right. If you can see the TV, over here I have a TV, and my son is coming tomorrow to mount it on the wall, because before I started doing this, it was just sitting on this desk table thing that I made with pieces of wood. I just made a quick table, but I've used it for years. So, okay, so now we have our 2 squares that are 5 inches. One is going to be the bottom of the biscornu, and one is going to be the top, okay? So whatever you choose, you can choose anything you want, any color. You know, I just have various different fabrics, and you can pick any fabric that you want to make it with. Oh, I know what I forgot. Now I remember. I need a piece of felt. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. All right, so now I'm going to draw 1/4 of an inch around this whole thing. Okay, and I'm going to draw it on the right side. I have a friction pen, and it'll just come off, you know, just even with the, you don't have to use the iron. You can use the iron, but just a little steam. It doesn't have to even touch the fabric. Just kind of just put a little bit of steam on it and it'll be gone. Now the people that do it in cross stitch, they have a design that is specific for this. So their bottom piece has decorations like in each corner, and their top piece has a symmetrical design on top. You kind of really need something that is symmetrical in that sense. You don't have to, but that's kind of the way I do it. So now we're just going to take these, and if you want, you can iron them, but I'm just going to finger press right on that line, on that 1/4 of an inch. And I'll just go around this real quick. I like this fabric because it seems real sturdy. It doesn't really stretch much. Some fabrics, you know, they have so much give. And I don't think you'd want to use anything that you have a scrap that's got a bias on it, because when you go to sew this around, you might stretch it, and you don't want to do that. Okay. I've been wanting to use this fabric for a journal cover, but was not quite big enough to do that. So, but I have used it on some journals, different parts of the. My friend sent them to me. Phone's going off. It's probably, hopefully, nobody important. Nope. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take, now in this case I'm going to use the white, and let's see, I have my little pin cushion. Where'd it go? Not that I don't have 100 pin cushions, but I don't know where it is. So I'm just gonna get a needle. I don't know what I put that. Okay, well, this will be easy to thread. So you need something to baste this down with. So I'm going to use just regular cotton thread. Okay, so now we're going to pull that over. And then I'm just going to go up from this side here. And then I'm just going to do a running stitch along here. It doesn't have to be very close together. What we're doing is just basting this down, and this is going to come out after we get it done. But when I saw Catherine do this, I thought, wow, that's a good idea, you know, to baste it and make sure it's all secure before you try to sew this thing together, because it is kind of weird. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. I made one in my center of my etui box. And then I have one that I started to make here. It looks kind of awkward because it's not finished yet. But I realized that I didn't want this off center, because in the center we're going to put a button. And that just didn't work for me. I'm going to still use it because I don't want to take it apart. All right, so now this one we're going to bend back like that. Let's see how I'm just going to come into that fabric right there, like so. I don't know why, you guys, every time I do this on TV, on camera, I have the most awkward needle. Oh. Okay. Let's see what I've got. Usually I've got decent needles in here. Can't pick up anything. Okay. You know, nobody bothers me all day until I do a video. And then I did forget that my groceries are going to be delivered. So I may have to stop when I see that. Otherwise, everything's going to melt outside. Okay. I wasn't thinking this would take too long, but we'll see. Actually, I could put you on pause and stitch around this. So what I'm going to do is stitch around this whole thing, okay? And this one, I'm going to stitch around the whole thing too. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a contrasting color, because it would be easier for you to find it and pull it out after all your other stitching goes on. Okay, so I'm going to put you on pause. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I have stitched around all the outsides of these two pieces to bring them in, so you have a nice clean edge here. That's the purpose, is to get, you know, this nice edge. I don't know if you leave it raw edged, I don't know how that would work. It might not, you may not be able to sew it together without shredding the edges. So anyway, that's the way that's going to work. And then I made two small squares of batting, and this is not very thick. It's, you know, you can use felt or bat, and around, you know, 4 inches or so inside. This ends up to be like 4.5 square. Let's see if this one is. Yeah, 4.5 square. And you really do kind of want to have them the same size. Okay, because if you don't, you can't match up the seams. All right, I'm going to remove this, and then we're going to, let me get this needle out. We are going to take this and fold it in half. And just, you know, press it here a little. And then you're going to mark this fold. And this is really important in here. Oh, wait a minute, I lied. We're going to mark it on the, I'm not sure. Do I need to mark it on the outside? Yeah, I guess that would be good. If you don't want to use a pen, you could crease it there a little better, but you do need to get these creases and these marks because of the way the biscornu works. And this is actually so easy to do. All right, so I've got that one. I'm just going to set those aside for a moment till I get ready to actually do some stitching. Oops. I guess you can mark it on the inside or the outside. I think it doesn't really matter as long as you can see it. But we're going to be stitching on the right side of this. So in normal circumstances, you would be stitching on the wrong, I did it again. It's because I'm so used to marking the wrong side of something, not the right side. But I found it much easier to work with if I have those little marks. Okay, so now it would be time to decorate. So I have this little square piece here, and I thought I might, which covers actually the whole thing, doesn't it? Didn't think that was going to cover that completely. Let me see if I have something else. Oh, I'm going to reach my basket. You could hand stitch a flower or something. Now this doesn't work because it's not the right, you know, it's not round, and this doesn't work because it's oblong. I don't think it'll look as nice because I've tried those. You could also just do maybe some lace here and under here, you know, 2 layers of lace. This is pretty, but let's see with that. Now I feel like it needs to be centered. This one, that would be kind of nice because that would be, this has got coffee stains or something on it, which is okay. You would think you'd have a bunch of square things, but I don't. Square pieces of fabric. I am trying to sort out my stuff. You guys can't even see what I'm searching through, but it's just a box of, or you could do something where you just want to cover it with lace. This is just not the style for that. I wish I had another one of those, but not with some stain on it. I tend to use circles a lot, little medallions that I cut up out of doilies and such. All right, I'm going to use that. I'm just going to do that. Let me put this away. Okay. All right, so, oh, that's so cute. Maybe I'll add that somehow. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is use this, and I don't know if I want to put a color on it or just use an off-white, or let me just pen this real quick. I don't have my safety pins handy because they're in my other needle book. So I'll just do that. So you kind of want to center it. This is a little bit too far down there. I could have made this blue the top too. I wonder, let me just, yeah. You can use the same colors on both sides if you'd like, but it's kind of nice to have a contrast. Okay, so now I was thinking in these corners here, you see how I put this butterfly here? Well, there's on each side, you're going to have this triangle, a corner right here. Can you see that? And so I thought you should put something here. This is the first one I've made with stitching on it. So see how that looks? It just isn't, you know, but I can put something there. So I have some butterflies, and I thought maybe I could stitch them in this corner, but they're almost too big, aren't they? I just thought they would look nice with the blue. Either I would cover them with this, no, or cover, let me just kind of look and see how this looks. I didn't look to see how long my first part of this video was. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I had almost a 2-hour video one day. You can always fast forward. You can always speed it up. Yeah, no, I'm not happy with that. Not 4 of them anyway. Maybe a small one. Maybe just put, you know, I'm thinking maybe I should just put, actually you could stitch a flower there if you wanted. I'm not very good at stitching flowers, but I think something just simple like that would look nice. Well, that worked out. I had 4. I didn't even count them before I started cutting. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to as much of the corner without touching the stitched part. Okay, I think that looks just fine. It's simple. We're going to be adding a button inside here. I'll try to press this open, but I think I'll stitch it. So let me see, what threads do I want to use? I kind of like to leave it just in a neutral state. So where's that needle I had that I liked? forgot those aren't attached. This one has thread in it, so I don't even know what I do with needles. I just had it. I don't know if this is like or not. All right, I'm just going to move these off for a minute and come up through the back of this. And that doesn't want to come through. I'm just going to go around this and do some basting kind of stitch thing. Where is the needle that I just was using? I think this is it, because I don't like this one either. See, I need to get rid of the kinds I don't like, and I say that every time, but I have a needle that usually sits next to me that I like. This one I barely can thread. But I like them to be sharp and short. So I don't have any rhyme or reason to how I stitch things down. I just do. It's like this. And I feel like you can't see because the camera's on the other side. Okay. So I really don't have a lot to talk about. Things have been quiet. Trying to get some things fixed around the house. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, and maybe a lot of you already know this, but it's a Dawn liquid soap, not Dawn liquid soap, you know, that's the one that they clean ducks with and stuff, right? And that's the only dishwasher soap, or not dishwasher, but dishwashing liquid soap that I use. Well, they came out with this new product. It's like a power wash, and I bought it. And you know, when you have a real, say, greasy pan, and if you use it and it gets it takes a while to get the grease off of it, and it gets onto your other utensils, like your, you know, if it's a brush or a sponge or whatever you're using. So I bought it because you can just spray it on, let it set maybe 30 seconds, and rinse it off, and it just melts the grease away. So then I started using it on, because I am famous for dripping salad dressing on me, like olive oil, because I usually make my own olive oil and vinaigrette dressing. And I sprayed it on one of my tops because, and boy, if you don't get that grease out, it's going to be there forever, especially on plain shirts. So I sprayed it on there, and I went ahead and washed the the shirt, and it came out every single bit. You couldn't even tell. So now when I spill grease on my clothes or whatever, whatever you get on your blouse, makeup or paint probably would not come off, but blood or any of that kind of thing does. And it works really well. So I decided my rails outside, they're white, wood rails, painted white. And after the winter, they get that green color, and they just get so dirty. So I went out there and I squirted the rail, and I took all I had was a little tiny brush, and I just kind of gently scrubbed it. I didn't work at it. And I hosed it off, and all that dirt just melted right off. All the green, moldy stuff. So my cleaning, because I can't really do that myself. I am, my body won't let me work like that anymore. So my cleaning person, now she's not a cleaning lady, like she doesn't come in and mop and, well, she will, but I mean, usually I'll call her like every couple weeks, and she comes and does a project that I can't do because she's a lot younger. So I said, she said, do you need me for this week? And I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. So when she got there, I had her do those rails. So I pay her, to clean in that respect. And so she did my rails, and she did my swing that sits out on my porch because it was all grungy from being out there all winter. And it just melted off. Even she was just amazed. That will probably be her new cleaning product. And then a friend of mine also said that she used it in the shower. She could not get clean the shower that she used it in, and she used it in there, and it came out spotless. So just so you know, if it's a degreaser, it's going to cut the oils and things that get on your shower that just you just can't get them out. So, all right, well, let's see. I've got this one strand stitched down, so I probably should pause so we can I'll stitch the rest of it down here, going around, and then I'll also stitch these little guys in. Yeah, too bad they're not a triangle. Oh well. I hate to stitch too close, but I think maybe I'll just take some of this off. And that just looks very cute, doesn't it? I could put French knots in there or something like that. That would be cute. Okay, so I'm going to stop and sew around here. Get this thing pressed down or stitched down, one of the two. And then I'll come back and we'll start putting it together. Okay? So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I hope I don't run out of power because I left it on pause and not shut it off so I could add the videos together at the end, because it took a while to get all this stitched on. But one thing you need to do too is make sure that your two pieces stay the same size. So I was afraid to do more stitching on the back side because I thought it would shrink it in too much and then it's not going to sew together properly. So, okay, so we're ready to start sewing. Now, in most cases you would, sew like this and then turn it inside out. But this one you don't. This one you sew to the right sides to or wrong sides together. And so here is that first mark that I made, and that goes at the corner of your top. I hope you get that. Actually, I probably could have marked inside here too. Would have been helpful. But I'll just mark it right there for me, just so you guys can see that. All right, and then I'm just going to clip right there. Now we're going to start sewing it at this point. And this is the part that's so amazing, because you would never guess this is how you would sew it together. And it took me a while to figure out. I kept sewing it back to back, thinking I was going to turn it inside out as you normally would do. And it's not the way it works. So I've chosen this blue. I kind of liked it, the contrast. It's a teal, but it's a light teal. So it kind of matches this front teal here. I need to move back over a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put a knot here. This one. And then we're going to just kind of get in here at the corner. So I'm just going underneath where the it's folded over, where the fabric is folded over, to give us a starting point. And then you can whip stitch. A little tough getting through all the fabric. Just do a whip stitch, grabbing both sides. You know, it's like maybe it's just gotten darker in here from outside, because now it looks like that I can't see it as well. It's like a shadow. All right, so, gosh. We're just going to whip this around. And I also thought maybe you could do it and come back and make it, you know, maybe do like, what's the word I want to use? Like a feather stitch. But I don't know, you know, how much that would show up, because I haven't really experimented with it enough to make enough of these. Most everything I do is new to me, as well as me sharing with you what I'm doing. I just don't like to pre-make things. I did that little one that I started off with. I was going to pre-make that one, but I think what I'm going to do is use that one to show you how we're going to stuff it, because it will take a long time for this to get stuffed. I mean, for me to stitch around this whole thing and then stuff it. So I'm going to try to stitch enough so you can tell. All right, so now we're at the very end. We're at the very last corner, or the very, see, can you see that? Too close enough? I'm stitched from this point all the way down to the corner of this one. Okay, now I'm just going to set my needle down here, and then I'm going to take this and we're going to lift it and we're going to turn it, and you will locate your other mark, which is right there. So I guess you could put the mark on the inside. I wasn't sure. And then you clip it there. And then you're just going to continue with your whip stitch. Okay, so it really is pretty fast. It's just making sure you get both sides. And I don't think you really want to go in too deep, but maybe. I don't know. You might want to go check out K3N Cloth Tails, I think it is, and see how she did it. I guess, I don't know if she has a playlist, but she probably does. And it's been a while since I've seen her do it, but I thought they were always so unique looking. Okay, so move that, and then we're going to get to that very corner here. Where there's a lot more thread fabrics. Okay, I'm going to do one more little stitch there. Just make sure that that corner is secure. Okay, now we're going to take it and turn like so. Bring that up there like that, and then it should match up with the mark that we made on this side here. Okay, and then put a little clip there to hold it, and then we continue to stitch. I stitched these little corners with those little flowers in that from that doily, and I think those turned out cute there. And this is not stitched a lot, but again, you want your straight pins to actually be able to be stuck in it too, you know. Sometimes if it's too thick, then the pins won't want to smoothly go in. Now, I'm going to stuff this with cotton. I have cotton stuffing that is a friend of mine, Jan, gave me. And it's actually from the cotton fields here in Georgia. So I'm going to use that. I think it's pretty authentic type of stuff. I hope it fills it good. I guess you could use the lizard things. Okay, where did I mark it? Right here. All right, so I'm going to come over here and mark it. Set this here where I've marked it. Okay. Now, like right here, if you can see this, sometimes this part comes up a little bit where you folded it, so just try to tuck it in there a little, and it will hide it because of your stitching, but I try to tuck it in just a tad. This is where and these little things I use to pull the needle they're called needle pullers, and they're online, or they're probably at Joann's if you have a Joann's close to you. I don't think Hobby Lobby has them. You know, a store with a lot more stitching kind of materials than Hobby Lobby has. but they're made by Dritz. I think it's called Dritz, or oh gosh, no, I can't. The name doesn't come to me. Clover. And I know that I think Joann's carries both those brands. And then you can get them online as well. They're very inexpensive. I think you get 3 of them for something. Like $1 each. Or if you have a rubber thing that, you know, you use for opening jars or something. Sometimes I used to have a square like that, you know, about a 5-inch square that I could open jars with till I wore it out. But you could take something like that and just cut off a piece, you know, if you had extras. Okay. I just want to show you a few turns on this, and then I'm going to get the other one. And oh darn, I wanted to do the button on this one. Well, let me finish sewing it. It just takes it doesn't take very long, but on camera it feels like hours. To keep glancing up because I don't want my phone to go dead. Okay, so now we're going to take and bring this one over to this one. The little mark we made. And stitch those together. Whoops. I might have moved my light. I think that might have been what I did too, because I was looking for buttons and my light is sitting on, I know I'm not on camera. My light is sitting on my button box. Which when I go in there, I probably never find a button I need. It just takes forever to get it open. It's in a tin, and you know, I love tins. I love the way they look, but they are the hardest piece of thing to get open when you want to get into it. It's amazing how they can make them fit so tight like that. I was hoping I didn't run out, but I ran out of thread. I'm doing, you know, tiny stitches. I don't know if you do them bigger. What I was going to tell you also, you could get like the walnut shells to put in it. But if you do that, this would have to be really tight, you know, because the shells would fall out. Okay, darn it. Maybe I can get to the end. It's not just getting to the end, but making a knot so it doesn't come out. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go back inside of here. See if I can grab some of this batting here, and I doubt that it's going to go anywhere. Okay, we'll just leave that tail in there because that takes it longer to get out if it's going to get out. Okay, now we're going to do this one this way. And there's my little mark right there. Okay, so at this point we would be doing one more round here. So let me put you on pause and well, let me try to thread my needle to see. Like I said, I've done videos before that were longer than an hour, especially when you're doing slow stitching. It's not like you can do it all in one day. Yeah, I think I moved my light somehow. I can't quite. Oh. Well, I don't know. Guess I'll have to cut it. I should have put it on pause because I knew this was probably going to be a problem. Just because I like this smaller needle, it's so much harder to thread. But in the long run, it's so much easier to stitch with. So, all right, so I need to come back up there through that area first. So I'm just going to bring my knot under that section there where we folded it over. Bring this back over. Now here's my mark. So this is not, oh wait a minute. That's my mark. Oh, I thought I was right there. I was going to say, what am I going to do now? It's going to be because my other one kind of got a little bumpy because I had to fit it in because it wasn't totally square. Okay. My thread is probably too long because it's tangling. Like I said, you could go around this twice before you stuff it, I would say. You'd have to turn around and go back the other way. I don't know. Because you have to leave the one edge open until it's all stuffed. I'm going to try to get that down inside of there. So I want to do a design like a wall hanging, and I'm not sure how. I'm trying to think of a color arrangement. And what I should do is what I've done in the past, like when I make quilts, I usually use a focal fabric, and then I use, obviously the designer knows what colors go together because they're professionals. And so I usually take a fabric and use that as my focal point, my focal fabric, like my mood board. That's all it is. And like in this one here, I have this a turquoise blue and a gold and almost a rust and, you know, white that I could use. And then line that up there. Then choose other fabrics that I want that will go with that. And by other fabrics, I don't mean necessarily fabric, I mean flowers. And so what I want to do is make like a waterfall type thing where I just take, where's one of those flowers? This one. So what I would do is take this flower and stitch it on my background, whatever size I'm going to make it. And then you would take this and you would lay another flower over, say, there. And but I've got several fabrics that have those big flowers on them, but they're not quite compatible with each other. So I have to figure out how I want to do that. It may almost be one that it's an ongoing thing. Asking, your friends who do fabric things, if they've got any, like upholstery fabric or curtain fabric or, something left over from the 80s or 70s, 60s, whatever. But I mean, you could add a lot of different colors too. You could do a rainbow where you start off with one color at the top of your wall hanging, and then add in another color below that. Maybe I was thinking the wall hanging would be about maybe 30 inches long, 28, something like that. Because I just think it would be cool to use up some of these fabrics that I have that are big florals. But we'll see. All right, now I think this is the end. All right, so now I'm going to just put another stitch right here, kind of just to hold that a little bit, because we're going to need this thread to finish that. And it always looks silly when it's in this form. Okay, so now let's get stuffing. There's some regular cotton. It still has all the cotton little seed dealies in it. So I'm going to go ahead and stuff a little in there. And I will go down and stuff each one of these corners as tightly as I can. So now I like a very firm stuffing, and I was going to look it up before I started here, because I don't use that, because I used to stuff a lot of pillows when I used to make a lot of pin keeps, because I did punch needle. So I'm just gonna stab that in there just so it and the stuffing that I bought, I think I got it at Joann's usually, was heavier than the toy stuffing. I guess it's for toys, but it's more of a real firm feel to it, more like this cotton. You can always stuff this with sawdust too. My friend used to bring me, her husband was a woodworker, at home. He would make stuff all the time. And would have tons and tons of sawdust, and he used to get it like in the vacuum of his saw, and so he would just empty it out into a plastic bag and bring it over. It was so cool, because sawdust is a good stuffer, and it also is something you can pan into. It's hard to get in though. It's hard to work it in. So I'm going to keep working at this, getting these nice and firm. Doesn't really take as much stuffing as that toy stuffing. I don't know if you can buy plain cotton online or not. And you stuff it, the tighter you stuff it, the better it's going to look. If you try to, like this one could use some more, leave it real loose inside your pillow or whatever it is you're making will look lumpy. So you just keep getting as much as you can. All right, I think one more stuff, well, maybe a little more. So I want this to be all tight right here too. That's the hard part, is where the opening is. Getting it all nice and firm. All right, so let's see. I think it needs just a tad more. It's because I didn't pre-stuff this corner like I did the other ones. Okay, I think that's good. So now we're just going to stitch this up. Of course, we got to get a knot. Okay. Okay, so it's feeling a little bit loose. I just feel like it's, let me see, I'm just gonna try to move this a little bit get a little bit more in there. See, because right here I can feel it's not too full. It's not full. Once you sew it up, you're done, right? Or you have to unsew. So I get it when I can. Okay, I think that'll be all right. I still can feel it, but I can feel it there too, so maybe I didn't get enough stuffing in that section. Well, the nice thing about it is really, when you think about it, to get through all these layers. When you think about it, you could open this side, you know, and stuff there if you wanted. I guess it looks pretty okay. Okay, now I've got to get this in here, so what I'll probably do is go back down in here, run this up and through here. And then I'm going to make a little knot here and go right back through where I came out with the needle, and then we're just going to give it a little tug, a little bit of nail. Come on. There we go. And it pops through. And then it's secure. All right. So now you can take out all of your basting stitches if you want. I mean, I'm not going to take them out now. It'll take too long, but I want to show you. So you just go along here and pull out your basting stitches. Like so. And all those are gone. So you can't tell that you sewed it together like that. See? And that'll look nice. And then on this side too. Okay, so the next part is to put a button in here. And oh my gosh, I don't know what needle I'm going to be able to get all the way through this, because I don't have one of those doll ones anymore. So I pulled out like a white button. I pulled blue. This one I thought kind of looked nice on it, but I wished it would have been more of a teal color. It's more gray. This little teal one here, which I think I'm going to use that on the bottom, or maybe I like 2-hole buttons, because you don't want to have to go through it 4 times. But then I found this one, and I thought that kind of looks nice, so I think I'm going to go with that. So we're going to get some thread. Now this is a bigger needle, so and you got to make sure your needle goes through the button. I'm trying to think now, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to hide this knot under the button. Oh, I forgot to mark the middle. Let's see if I can figure that out. Looks to be about 3 inches by 3. So 1.5. Where's the 1.5? Okay. So 1.5 would be center. So I'll put this down here. And 1.5 on this side. Yes. It doesn't quite look. Let's try this side again. That looks centered to me. Okay. Oh my goodness. My back is hurting. All right. So I'm going to come up through that center with this needle. I'll try. Trying to feel for it. So I'm hitting that doily. There it is. Come on. Push on through. Okay. Now we're going to put this on and go back down. I gotta find something to help push this needle through. I don't know why it's so tough. I guess that cotton maybe. It's too far over. I knew this was going to be a struggle, you guys. This buttons to me are a struggle anyway. Oh, look at it. It's all the way over there. How did it move? This is where you need that doll thing. Now it's way over here. Okay, well, I don't think I'm ever going to get it on camera. So let me just go ahead and pull it through. Okay. Then we're going to put a button at the bottom. Let's see, maybe this one would be big enough. Now, this is absolutely not going to work. I have to find something, a different type of a needle. It's a little too far over. I just want to get it one more time. Yay! Happened. Okay. Now, what would I do? How do I do that? That's weird. But trying to. All right. I just want to put it through the other side, the other hole. Bring it up again. Just go over this. I'm going to come back up to here. Sorry about this, guys. I didn't plan on having such a struggle at the end. And let's just see, because it really didn't push it down that much, but I think it's the cotton stuffing. I've never had to, when I use this cotton stuffing, it's always just been, you know, not pulled down. But I don't know, I think that looks kind of cute. Anyway, so I'm just gonna try to go back through this hole. I'm probably not even on camera. I can't tell because there's a little thing there blocking my view on the camera, I mean itself. Thought that was hidden there. I can't get it through this. It's supposed to be behind that. There it goes. I think that's it. Okay, so I should be able to cut it now. I may have to do this whole center part over again. I'm going to have to find a bigger long needle. But anyway, so there we go. That's our biscornu slow stitched. And I like that. I think it'll make a cute pin. But then again, it's going through that cotton. Maybe you better not use cotton. You better use a polyfill, but make sure it's the stiff polyfill, the thick. It's, I don't know what exactly it is. If I find out, I can put it in the description. Or if you really want to know, you can always add it, put it in your comments. All right, guys, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to make it, because it is really, really easy. It's just when I do things, it doesn't always come out easy. But overall, I thought it was pretty cool. And then this one here, I'll stuff this one and see what I can. I wanted to put some more things on it before, if I can, before I finish the whole thing. And this one is not as thick. This is just regular fabric, and I put the batting inside as the same as I did this one, but it's not nearly as heavy as this, because this is more upholstery type fabric. And see, I could have used stuffing right there a little bit more, but if I had taken my time too, I would have really got in there and pushed and, you know, got it all full. All right, so thank you for joining me this Sunday. And if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day. And if you're not a mother, you probably have been one to someone in your lifetime. So have a wonderful time. Thank you. Bye.